Hey guys, welcome to ANX Gamecast, level 144. I'm Unbiased Ann, I'm here with Genesis and Ray. How's it going, guys?
It's
It's going.
going. It's going. It's been a while. It's been a while.
It's
been a long time.
Yeah. It's been a few minutes.
It's been a few minutes. I feel like part of that's probably my fault.
Part of it. Well, no. So, this video being out, when this video comes out, there should be another video. There should be like a video, like a winter update, ANX game. I don't know what I'm going to call it, right? But it's going to go through where we've been because I didn't want to just like start dropping new videos when we've been gone for 3 months. But there was a major death in someone's family. Someone else moved. Some people got real sick and then got sick again and got sick again. And then somebody hurt their back. Ray, do you want to share which one of those were you?
I was the one that passed.
Nope.
Oh, try it again.
Try again.
Yeah, so all I can tell people is when your back goes, it goes, and it's not necessarily going to be the pain where you think it's going to be. My pain for my back, all in my left leg, because that's where the nerve happened to be pointed at. So, steroid shot later, maybe another one coming up, but for sure I've already got one. I'm finally at the point where I'm mobile.
Yeah.
So
you were down for the count.
It sucked. 3 straight weeks I was down. Couldn't move. You know, it was very slow. Pain was constant. So I mean, you're talking. I think in a 2-week span, I might have gotten 4 hours of sleep solid.
That's crazy.
So it sucked. I mean, it just did. Finally got the right doctors to take a look at it, and I can't recommend enough. Everyone should have a shot in their spine at least once. No, please. If you don't ever have to do that, don't do that. It sucks.
Yeah.
But again, the odd thing is the needle itself didn't suck, but the medicine as it goes down the length of the nerve. Even though you've got a local agent for numbing it, you feel every bit of that. So It's pretty, it sucked, like I said.
Mm.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, I don't want to get all heavy, but it's kind of depressing because like you can't do anything.
And
you're just like,
man, I know the worst thing that you couldn't come over and do the pod.
I know you were very upset and sad about
I
that.
I cried.
WTF.
I'm sure.
I cried.
It's like, gosh.
And I saw it when like you texted me. I was like, dude, I can't. I hurt my back. And you're like, what? No, you didn't. Like, yeah, I promise you, man.
Yeah.
I did.
For reals.
Yeah, it limited me. We didn't even do our podcast in the first time we tried, I think in, what are we now, February?
Yeah.
So just 2 weeks ago was I think the first time that we tried to do one. And it was for a year-end wrap-up for December. And, but it was like, that was, as soon as we were done, I like got up and I had to go and rest again.
Yeah.
So, you know, it sucked, but I am better. I'm better, so that's cool.
So, like I said, it wasn't just you. I mean, there was really no content going out. Which one of those were you?
I was sick a lot. I've been sick a lot.
So you being sick means I was sick a lot.
Yep.
So I think the 3 months we've been kind of off. I think we've been sick 3 times.
Yeah.
Well, every time I would just check in, and you'd be like, and he's down. And then it would be like, no, I'm not feeling well. And it was always something like we're just the end of 2023, just battling through. It just sucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we are back now, and you've you said you were going to pod every day now, right? Like a daily pod? Like you're going to come over every day?
You must have me confused for someone named Jason. That's not me.
Oh, okay.
3 times a day, we can get you.
3 times a day.
Oh, yeah. We can do that
for
too.
For sure.
So anyway, we're off track. Go ahead and do your...
Oh, what are y'all excited to talk about?
Ray?
You know,
Raymond.
This one, I don't necessarily know that one pops out. Probably, I guess if I had to layer it, it would be the anime. And I'm not going to talk that much about it because I just started it.
Okay. That's okay.
But that seems to be kind of like where I want to go on that.
Yeah, so I am excited to talk about her anime. What you got?
I guess I'll say Aquaman.
Aquaman or Aquaman 2?
We'll call it Aquaman 2.
Okay. So anyway, as y'all can see on the screen, I need y'all to like, follow, subscribe again. I mean, I know it's been a while, but once we hit that 2,000 subs, we will do another giveaway. So make sure to tell your friends to come subscribe to the channel. Y'all ready for round one?
Yes.
Go.
Round one.
Round one and the anime that we're currently watching. All right. I know I said I was going to stop watching this, but the season 2 just seems to be longer than I expected. So again, anytime that I'm not sick and I'm getting on a tread, Bastard is still on my screen from Netflix, and it's still bad. And it's still dirty and raunchy and misogynistic, and I don't enjoy it. But it's just like, it's there. I thought it was going to be over, something like 12 episode thing. I feel like I said, season 2 might be a little bit longer. So it's just like, when is this going to end?
At what point do you just stop?
I don't know. It's like if I have one episode left, like the whole time, the last 3 episodes I've watched, I've just like thought that I've had one episode left. So it's just like, whatever. Like it's getting less misogynistic. And there was actually one point in there where they kind of told the history of like what happened when Dark Schneider was around the first time. And I felt like the first time was more like modern, like now, present time. And that was getting interesting, but they didn't keep going with it. It was just like some little thing, some man telling their son a story, and then that was it. I was like, okay, well, that was interesting, but you didn't keep going. So yeah, like, again, don't recommend it. Would not watch it. There definitely is a audience out there for this. It's just not me, and I don't think it's you, and I definitely know it's not you. So
I kind of feel like, and it's what I'm gonna say is not anime, but I kind of feel the hype is much like the hype surrounding Griselda on Netflix, which is, you know, another Narcos tale, right? True story Narcos tale. It's the same thing. I finished that, much like you're saying you're having trouble finishing this, but by the end I was skipping through, just trying to get through. I already knew the story. It just bad acting, you know, and you kind of get that same feeling for this, man. So like what I'm saying, I kind of get why you're finishing it up, because now you just kind of got to. Mm-hmm. But man, do you not want to?
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I know I'm in the rarity on that one, because I think like that one, much like this one, is just getting great reviews, and I don't care. Well,
and also it's a situation where it's like, I just feel like there's not a lot of stuff that as far as anime goes, that I would like on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying that I like this, but I grew up watching Bastard. So it's like I automatically gravitated to, oh, Bastard. Okay, I'm going to try this out. It's just like, but I don't want to finish it. So anyway. Evangelion. Whose is this one?
Mine.
Uh-oh. Classic.
Claim it.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
No, I can't do it today.
Yep. So I started Neon Genesis. I don't remember why I started. I mean, you've been talking about this for years.
I mean, it's just one of the best animes ever made.
Yep.
Not that he's biased or anything.
Right.
I'm not. These are just facts.
So Neon Genesis, for those who don't know, is about...
I think everybody knows. Well, I don't think Ray knows.
Okay.
Let's be honest.
That's not true.
Well...
You know Neon Genesis?
I know Neon Genesis.
Oh, well, here, let me turn... Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, we went through this last time, and I almost stole one.
Okay. Now keep
So
going.
basically, the kid, the main person, Shinji, right, is like recruited, I would say, I don't know, by his dad or whatever, to, I guess, operate these ginormous robots that are set up to protect Japan against other alien robots.
Okay.
That's pretty much, I feel like, the synopsis, right?
Kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there's more, but you know me, if you let me go, I'll keep going.
Yeah, we don't. But I just feel like I just feel like Neon Genesis, and I mean, you tell me, because he said I was biased.
Okay.
You've seen it, but then I just feel like it's less about the mechs.
it is not really about mechs.
Right. So that's why I would say I might disagree with the synopsis a little bit, because it's really a psychological. It's about the relationships between all the characters and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And there's some other stuff that you hadn't got to yet, so be careful.
I was just going to say that's what makes a good story, though. You can sit there and have big robots on it, but when you start to layer it the way it's layered, that's what makes you want to come back. It's what makes you want to watch.
Yeah. I do like it. He's gotten into the, we see him at school. We see him with like, his other, like his friends at school. We see him interacting with the other people that operate the mechs. And so I like that dynamic as part of the story too. And then we have, I like his, I don't know if she's like the lead scientist or whatever, but the lady that he lives with, I forgot her name, but.
No, she's not the scientist. She's in charge. She's like more military lead.
Okay. But.
Captain Katsuragi.
Yeah. But she's funny. Like, I really like her character.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I don't even think I'm halfway through yet.
I think you might be like right at the halfway point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like it. I mean, I definitely do.
So what about you? Because you said I was biased when I said it's one of the best animes ever made. You don't agree?
It's classic.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. No, it's a classic, man. Seriously. Like, this is, as I'm going through, and you guys saw my son today. I've been trying to level him up through not just what he's watching, although we've already got tickets for the next Demon Slayer
movie.
Yeah. And so, but I'm also trying to teach him some of the stuff that we grew up with when I was growing up with. You have to forgive me though. It's in the 80s on some of the stuff. So I don't know if you've seen it.
Mm. Only thing I've seen, well, I mean, a lot of the stuff I've seen from the 80s, it's like Akira and technically stuff like Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, all that stuff is actually from the 80s.
Yeah. I started him something with absolutely more common, which is Ghost in the Shell. So I got him that for Christmas, the special edition and everything else. So we're picking a day and we're going to watch that. But I say that
the movies or the actual
no, just the first movie.
The first movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't started him on the episodes. I want to start him with the movie.
Okay.
But to that point, this is, you there are certain names that stand out with anime, right? As being what would you call it? The not necessarily the Godfathers or
OG. No.
Yeah, we could go with OG animes, right? Like, that's fine. But yeah, this is certainly.
I mean, I would go a step further. It's just like this is a must see.
I think it would be in a list of top 10. I think this is in there.
Like, if anybody, if there's anybody out there like, oh, I'm an anime fan, but it's like you never seen Neon Genesis, it's like, no, you don't count. Sorry.
Well,
like,
you're basic probably. You're like, a basic anime fan.
Well, I wouldn't even call you an anime fan.
I wouldn't call you an anime fan.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's just certain things that you have to have experienced before, and I think that's what Neon Genesis is. You're not like watching something like this. Is like a full on experience, and once you get. I mean, like I said, you're only halfway through, but it's just like it gets to a point where it's just like, oh shit.
I think you could sit there and say that I'll be the contrarian here. You can say you may not like it, but you also have to admit that it still has to be up there.
Yeah.
Just because of what it brought and what it did. So
yeah, and I say it's an experience because more than likely you're going to witness stuff, see stuff, hear stuff that you've never seen before. Like even to this day, just some of the animation and the art style and some of the way they do the dialogue and things like that, they still haven't necessarily replicated that in a more modern anime. So,
and I feel a lot of that has to do with the inclusion of computers now, the CGI. I mean, when you go and look back at the original artists that were doing these by hand with the cell, it's amazing just to watch them draw and just every little thing in there, just layering it.
I cannot imagine having that level of patience to draw not cartoon. I know these aren't cartoons, but you know what I'm saying, animated stuff.
Hey, watch your mouth.
I know. I'm saying for the purposes of drawing, though.
I don't think. I think that's where it changes. It's not necessarily a level of patience. It's a level of love.
Oh yeah, you have to.
That's what it is. It's a level of love.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
happy Valentine's Day.
I'm definitely excited for you to finish it, and then you can watch the new ones. They come out with like movies. I don't know what to call them. But anyway,
Huh?
That's it? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Okay. Blue Eye Samurai.
So
Watch your mouth.
this is.
Watch your mouth.
Stop.
I need you to start this off one particular way.
How do you want me to watch? How do you want me to start this
the
off?
segment is the anime that we're currently watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Current Anime.
Mm-hmm.
Round 1.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
This is something else.
It's not. It's not.
Okay. So
Watch your mouth.
there's about an hour for each episode, and I'm not watching it that way. I started with saying I'm going to watch 30 minutes of this, kind of treat it like you would proper, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same story told, right? It's someone done wrong, going on a revenge path, and that growth. And in that sense, there's nothing real different here.
Yeah.
Got some decent voice acting, right? Like nothing special, but I haven't seen anything in the first 30 minutes of this to pull me in. So I know it's already going to be a slow burn. I'm looking forward to finishing it, but certainly this is something that's going to be built on that right now, I'll tell you, not necessarily catching my full attention. This will be one where I will see whether or not I'm going to finish it.
So is the art style taking you out of it at all? Because
I can appreciate the art style, but I see a lot of the computer-driven art style in this.
well, what I mean is like this is not anime. This is not an anime. So the art style it's going to be different regardless.
And even that though, it's something different. So I don't know, like this this is gonna be one of those ones where I'm gonna keep a short time with, just because so far there's nothing really here. They had one scene that just it was a scene to be a scene, and that was it. And I'm like, what's the purpose of watching this? Like, if it doesn't come up sometime later in this movie or this series, like, it's like you guys are just doing it for the sake of doing it, and for me, that's stupid.
What is this about, or what?
Again, that's what it is. It's about, so the purpose behind the Blue Eye Samurai is that
Tom Cruise
during the time period, it was looked upon as not to mix the races, right?
Oh, okay.
And so this one,
So Marcus is out, or Genesis.
Genesis would have been killed, unfortunately, and I don't want you to do
But
that.
They could have tried.
Don't go into that time period.
Could have tried. You know what I'm saying?
Show.
Could have tried.
And the samurai is one that's of mixed races, and the thing that stands out the most
His blue eyes.
Her blue eyes.
Oh, her
blue eyes.
Oh, okay.
So I know, right? You look at it and you're like trying to figure out it's her blue eyes. So
spoiler alert.
Yeah, probably was.
alert.
But it's the same story. It's the same. Someone did me wrong. I'm gonna find out what happened.
Yep.
Tragedy in the background, and this is. I feel I need to avenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the Avengers.
Isn't everything?
Basically.
Yeah. So not in love with this yet. Not even in with this yet.
What are you watching it on?
Netflix.
Okay.
It's in Netflix.
And I think that goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's not like a whole bunch of stuff to watch on Netflix. Now, since then, we have upgraded our Fire Stick that we were using on the treadmill. So maybe some of those other apps can actually come through a little bit better, and I don't have to be restricted to Netflix, right? Funimation, just a quick note, April 4th, if you watch Funimation, the streaming app, it's officially finally going away.
What?
Yeah, like they were acquired by Crunchyroll like a year ago, a year and a half,
okay.
and it was supposed to go away.
I was just about to say that's why we got Crunchyroll. Damn it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go away a long time ago, but something happened, and I don't know if it was backlash. I don't know what it was, but they were like, okay, keep your Funimation. But now they're going to finally shut it down, and they're actually raising the price on Crunchyroll subscriptions.
$5 a month, I believe.
I don't know, but I think it's $100 a year or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you go monthly, it's $5 more. If it's the $100 for the year, that's actually, it does work out less, but I couldn't tell you one way or the other. Right, not right now.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just public service announcement.
Okay, good to know.
Y'all ready for the next round?
Yeah.
Until we meet again.
Round 2.
All right. Quote man.
Let's have an honest being the keyword, doggone it, man. I am done today.
Uh-oh. Conversation
about the DCEU now that it's over. Genesis.
Oh, do I have to go first?
Well, he's saying who said it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what you said.
Okay. So yeah. I just thought it was appropriate since now that it's officially over. It's over. It's done. I don't know what the new. I don't know if they're just gonna call it DCU. I don't know if
it's just DCU.
DCU, yeah, which I never understood the DCEU anyway. It's like you're putting out a product that is trying to like going off a blueprint of what the MCU is doing, but you're purposely calling it something else. I think most people called it the DCU anyway. So it's just, I don't know.
It was them trying to be different from the MCU.
And it's just like, whatever. I was like, yeah, this is dumb. It's not, but I don't know how we want to do this.
I'll do this quickly, man.
Is it a grade? Is it a feeling?
I think it's a pass or fail, and the honest truth to it is it failed.
Yeah, it has to be a fail.
It doesn't mean that you don't have stuff you don't like from it. Sorry, that I don't like from it. I have to remember that you're here. But I mean, if we're talking about how it succeeded or didn't succeed, obviously this was a failure. Monetarily wise, story wise, on a couple of them. This last,
I didn't look up the official numbers, but is it a fail monetarily? I know
monetarily, yes.
I know the last few has been losses.
When you talk about the overall success,
but then you had some Aquaman $1 billion movies. You see what I'm saying? So I don't. Man of Steel's,
but it's still less $1 billion movies than overall movies made, right?
Yeah.
So, you have to say that it failed. It doesn't mean that there weren't good movies in it. It just means that when you look at it as a brand, the brand itself tanked. So, and you can have your arguments against it. I don't really care. But when you look at it from a corporate way, didn't do what it needed to do. Didn't do what it wanted him to do.
I don't think there's any way you can look at it and say that it wasn't a fail.
Yeah.
I don't think fans necessarily were excited for the overall product. You might have been one or two that you were more excited for, regardless if it was successful or not, and blah blah blah. But I think overall, as a whole, I don't think comic book fans thought much of this. I don't think DC fans thought much of this. I don't think movie fans thought much of this. And like you said, from the corporate standpoint, obviously it was.
From a corporate standpoint, it
was a failure.
And you have a lot of stuff going into it. You had 2 or 3 changes at the top while this was going on, and everyone started to become, hey, we want to edit this, we want to edit it this way, we want to look at it this way. No, bring this back. I said it when it happened from a corporate standpoint. I cannot believe they actually let Justice League be finished by Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
It was the greatest and worst thing that they decided to do, and it's the worst because now you've proven to your audience that if you annoy us enough, we'll give you what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that
doesn't always work.
Well, that just shows me that they were just chasing the bag.
It really,
it was at that point where it's just like you're just in it to make money now.
Well, and it was absolutely done to bring subscribers in to HBO Max.
And I don't want that to be the lead thing. Obviously, it has to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that to be the lead thing on why things are being made and not made, because then you end up with things like Birds of Prey, and it's just like, because you have this star and you have this character that everyone likes and this actress that everyone likes, and you just make this movie and it's horrible. It's just like it's like one of the worst ones that they put out. If I'm, out of all the ones that were put out, like that Birds of Prey was one of the worst movies they put out. And I
don't even think that's fair to say, because I think there's a lot of movies that we could say that about with them. And this is coming from a fan of DC. This is coming from a fan
but
of
I'm
some
just
of these
saying,
movies.
like, the reason that it was made was simply to make money.
Yeah.
There was no other reason that they made this movie. So it's,
other than to realize that there was a capitalization upon Margot Robbie.
But you think that one was, you said the worst?
It was one of the worst.
Okay, one of.
It was one of the worst movies.
You know which one I think was the worst.
What?
I don't.
I'll tell you after our review.
I think it might be Batman versus Superman. I don't know.
For me, no.
I mean, so my thing with Batman versus Superman is you did have the Wonder Woman aspect to it, and those scenes alone, like I like to say more recently, like probably were worth the price of admission. The main movie, Batman and Superman, all that shit was whack. But Wonder Woman, you incorporate Wonder Woman, Doomsday, and then it's like, okay. Like,
what I need Zack Snyder to stop doing.
Hey, Zach.
Stop. If you could do me a favor,
Do me a solid.
when you make a movie, make sure that whatever you're going to want to put out there, it is already put out there. Don't come back to me 3 months later with this upgraded version. Because I will say the extended version of Batman vs. Superman is better than the original. Why didn't you just put that one out?
But see, we watched the extended version. I don't think
we watched. Yeah. I thought that was Justice League.
I think no. I mean, because we bought it. We didn't see it in the theaters. We bought the DVD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'll just go ahead and say like the 3 movies that I liked, that were good, passable, acceptable, like Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, and Flash. Outside of that, like a lot of these movies were just hot ass garbage.
I am
like
not
hot ass garbage.
I am not saying this to say it to be, because you know how I feel. We've already done a show on it.
Yeah.
For me, worst one was The Flash. And the more and more I think, I tried watching it because you loved it so much. After our podcast, I tried watching it again. I can't do it. Because there's so many different ways to make that movie better, and it just failed on
right.
every
But
level.
I just watched the movie for what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not. You know, you can, because you, like I said, you can take the movie we both like and say it's a 10. The first Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, right?
I still think that's a 10.
But
that's a 10.
I mean,
yeah.
If we want to just really, really get critical, there's ways that could have been better too. So I'm not going to say it's a bad movie just because it can have been better.
So probably, but the difference being though is I can't really find something that I would want to see better. Could I if I forced it?
That's what I'm
probably.
saying. Like I could. We can do that with every single movie.
But if I
made.
watch a movie in the first 10 to 15 minutes, I can already say that's a problem for me. For me, that's how. Again, we talked about the different reviewing styles that we have. For me, that's a problem. Like, I shouldn't have that thought.
You call what you do a style?
Every damn day. Except for walking the past 2 weeks or past 2 months.
Okay. So what do you got? You got any, what you got?
Let me see. I was just looking. So the ones I liked were, I liked Suicide Squad.
Ooh.
I liked Wonder Woman.
Wait, which Suicide Squad? The Suicide Squad or Suicide Squad?
For real, which one? John Cena or no John Cena?
Yeah, what he said.
I don't know.
Slappity Slap Smith, or what, was he in both of them?
No,
he wasn't. Slap Smith or Big Starfish or no Starfish?
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know. The one with Margot Robbie and Will Smith.
Okay, so the first one.
Yeah, I didn't like the first one.
Okay, I liked that
I
one.
I didn't like either one of them, but
I like the second one better.
I did like that one, but I think it was more about Margot Robbie. Like, I loved her, but
so it's your fault they made Birds of Prey.
Yes.
Did you like Birds of Prey?
There were parts of it I liked, but overall I was like, eh. But anyway, I like Suicide Squad, maybe for the wrong reasons, but whatever. I liked it.
I mean, there's no wrong reasons.
Well, I liked it because of Margot Robbie.
There's objectively wrong reasons.
Okay, well, whatever. I liked Wonder Woman, and I liked. Okay, so The Flash, it's like, I thought it was a good quality. I thought there was a lot of good stuff to it, but I forget his name. Like I said in the original review, he just got on my nerves. Yeah. He started off okay, but it just got to be too much, to where it just made it like,
well, there's 3 of them. So
exactly.
So yeah.
But it was a good quality movie. I mean,
it was definitely, again, objectively speaking, it was one of the better DC movies that was out.
Okay, yeah. So that's kind of, everything else I really thought about, and I was like, there were parts of Shazam that were like, okay, it wasn't the worst movie I ever saw. It was all right. There was parts of Black Adam that I liked, and there was parts of Blue Beetle that I liked. Aquaman 2, well, we'll get into that, but
yeah, we're gonna leave that alone.
Anyway,
but so here's my thing though. Like you said, you whatever about the Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad,
the first one.
First one. Mm-hmm. Would you ever watch that movie again?
So no, because here's the thing.
Exactly.
I liked it, but I tried to watch it again later, and I was like, I can't watch this. I don't like.
So it's just like, and so here's the deal. Like Man of Steel, I can see myself wanting to watch it again for certain scenes, but then I like The Flash, and like some of those scenes that I liked from Man of Steel, like I can also get a similar experience from Flash. So it's like I wouldn't even have a need to necessarily watch either one of those twice. I mean, I know they're generally speaking different movies, but when I want to watch something else again, it's never that I want to watch the whole movie again. It's like I just like Endgame. Like I just want to see that last battle. Right.
That's how I feel about Suicide Squad. I just want to watch the parts with Margot Robbie. I know I sound like a lunatic, but I'm just serious. I just really like her.
All right, so we're reviewing Barbie next, right?
Well, we saw Barbie.
We could.
For me, my favorite one probably is I'd probably have to go Wonder Woman first, Man of Steel second. I don't know who's third. If I'm being honest, I don't know who's third, and that's not me.
Well, for you, I would say it would be Blue Beetle. But if we're objectively speaking, I don't think you would pick that movie.
Blue Beetle, which I now have watched 3 times, I will say that, is a fun movie. But fun doesn't make it good. Necessarily, good. And so I love it for other reasons than what some of the other reviewers or whatever would love or hate it. Right.
So I think from everything I'm hearing, I think we need to sit down and watch The Flash together because
I can't do it.
But now here's the deal. Hear me out. And I said this before on the show, and we talked about this many times after the show. Yes, we still talk after the show.
Do we?
Yeah. And before the show. Just not a proper show meeting, but whatever. All the back and forth that we do, all the whatever on the show, like it seems like at the end of the day, generally speaking, we'll come to a similar conclusion. So you didn't know what I was going to say. You didn't even know I was going to give you my top 3. And 2 of the 3 were the same ones on your list.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, okay, then, but I it's like,
again though,
something with the Flash,
playing the contrarian, I'm not trying to do right now. I don't care about if we match on every single thing that we do, I'm fine with it. If we don't match, I'm fine with it. Flash is a movie I just don't like, and I'm sorry. You want to talk if you want to talk about the CGI, if you want to talk about.
But this particular conversation, the way it's been going, it's not necessarily what you like and dislike. It's just what you said about Neon Genesis. You said there were people out there that might not like it. I've never met those people, but
to be fair, neither have I.
Right. So there might be people that don't like it, but but if you want to just be objective and honest about it, like you will be able to appreciate what was created. I
appreciate the thought that they were trying to do, but the execution was just piss poor.
I appreciate the thought.
To me, that will be the worst movie in the DCEU for me, hands down. It's not even close.
Birds of Prey, bro.
I'm cracking up. I appreciate the thought.
Oh my God.
I appreciate the thought of it, but
I don't even appreciate the thought of Birds of Prey. Like they just should not have made that movie.
I have watched Birds of Prey. This is how I watch Birds of Prey. I'm going to show you.
Which eyes closed on mute.
I was working and then I would be like, look at the cell phone and I would hear something and I'd be like, oh, what happened?
Nothing.
Okay, cool.
Nothing.
And then
happened.
I would go through, like it was
nothing good.
It was disjointed. That's the nicest thing I can say about Birds of Prey. It was disjointed.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not the only movie that's disjointed. So, but it's still. Even having said that, Birds of Prey, bottom of the trash. Flash underneath the trash. I could not get behind it, and I have tried watching it multiple times now.
So, do we think there will be an appetite for whatever new is coming? Because I'm worried that this full reset is going to put some people off, and in the way that, because there was always rumblings of another Superman, another Batman, another Spider-Man. There's always been that in the background for these movies. Like how many times, like, the joke, how many times Uncle Ben, how many times is Batman's parents going to die?
You got to start showing something new. If rumor has it to be true, then we finally get a villain for Superman that's been in the comic books but not on the movies, which is what needs to happen. And that's the problem, right?
But is that,
how many times can we kill Uncle Ben? How many times can we kill Pa Kent?
But to me, that's more of the same.
Yeah.
You're starting over and with a new villain that hasn't been in the movies. I feel like there's more of the same. What's been going on?
It's because there's never good. Well, my mother, who I finally got her to watch one comic book movie.
It better have been a good one. Doing that woman like that.
She
Birds of Prey
watched Blue Beetle, and she loved Blue Beetle for everything that it was.
Yeah.
Right. But she made a comment during the middle of which I laughed because this is the truth. She goes, "Well, we all know the hero's going to win," and that's the problem. Give me a superhero movie where
that's why
he's going to die.
That's why Infinity War was so dope.
That's right. Because it wasn't just one. I mean, they let you know pretty early on, like, no, we're not joking around with this. Here's your first one.
Vision twice. Doing him like that.
You know, Black Widow, and then Iron Man.
Black Panther.
Well, he came back.
Well, he came back,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, like, at the end of that movie.
Oh, we're half.
Right.
You killed half the. And we joked about that on our show, and I said the only thing this makes sense. I said, and they'll never do that is, and Jason said the same thing. If they follow the book completely, where they kill half of everybody, they're like, but it's Disney. They're never going to have the guts to do that with people, and they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats off to them. Now, granted, it's hollow. It was good, and it was in service of the movie, which is what worked with the storyline. So I am proud of that. But they came back. So to have the meaningful three deaths that you had.
But we knew they were coming back. But
not the audience.
There was a bunch of the casuals who, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I appreciate you all.
Yeah.
Because you all keep it going. And I get to keep seeing my comic book people on the big screen. So I'm not saying it in a negative way. But
they didn't know.
They had no clue, and they were pissed.
Yeah.
T'Challa was dead. Oh, they were pissed.
I remember walking out of that theater, and everyone was like, what was this? Like, everyone was, I don't know about y'all's theater. It was dead quiet.
When those credits came on, it was like a gasp.
There was a little boy in our audience who was like, "What? No, Spider-Man!" And it was like, yeah. Now, in the back of my mind, I was like, they had the guts to do it. Cool. Like, I knew it wasn't going to stick, right? Comic book fans knew it wasn't going to stick, but it was one of those things where it was like, good for them. And then again, going into Endgame, where you killed 3 of the original. Good for them, right? Or 2 of the originals and 1 that had come along. That was it's what needs to happen now, right? You don't even necessarily have to kill someone, but let them stop. Let the ending of the movie be the ending of the story.
How would you feel if they had did one last like big Justice League that incorporated like everybody, not just the core Justice League, and killed them all?
Given the state of that, I think that would have been gutsy. And as long as it's not just done for the sake of killing them all.
Well, it would have been, because it's still going to end.
Yeah.
Right.
But something with meaningful where there's one where it's just Superman that survives, for instance, because he can, right? Kill everyone else and you just end it. As long as it's done right, great. I would have been okay with it. There's the reason I like the Dark Knight trilogy from Nolan is the fact it ends with him, quote unquote, dying. That we get a happy ending at the end, just him saying, "I'm out. I've done everything I can now. I want to live my life." Fantastic. But that's how Batman goes. That's it. That's it. Batman dies.
I would have liked it better if they didn't do that extra.
The extra ending?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have felt more like final. As opposed to it being final because of all the stuff that you actually read, like the I'm not coming back, and I'm not doing the movie if I got to be Robin, and I don't want to be, and all that mess.
It should have been what it did with the actual ending. Did you have to necessarily show him in Paris? Was there still discussion about, well, was that just what in his mind? No, it was him. He survived it. But it should have ended the way it did end, which is someone else taking up that mantle.
No, let me tell you, when I saw that movie, I literally thought he was dead for real. Yeah. In the movie theater, I started crying. I mean, not like, but like I was like, tears were coming down my face. I thought he was dead.
I really enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, he can't be dead. And in my mind, I immediately went back to they brought up the whole freaking computer thing like 3 or 4 times during this damn movie about, well, if the autopilot worked, if the autopilot was right, I'm like, this MFer fixed the autopilot. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking. Because for a split second, I was like, great. Like, that's how you should end a Batman flick, is eventually it's too much. He's got to die.
At some point.
Them showing the wear and tear on his body. Mm-hmm.
Well, or you just make a ending, you make a Shutter Island ending if you want to do that.
You could.
Like just some where you really just don't know, like a purposeful, like I don't really know. I didn't feel that way. I felt like, oh, he's still alive.
If they would have not have shown him and showed every other little thing and instance that was going on, you're right. Is he or is he not? And then you as the audience member can sit there and go, he is, because everything that was like, or you could sit there and go, he died, but he made sure everything was taken care of before he died. Like either one of those could have worked.
That's how bad the DCEU is. This segment was supposed to be all about them, and we end up talking about Endgame and
the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. I mean, I think that kind of sums it up.
Let's talk about the final nail.
Ooh, y'all ready?
Go. Yep.
All right, let's get on to round 3.
Round 3.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, aka Aquaman 2. I wonder who makes those kind of decisions and why. I think most people called it most people called it Aquaman 2. So you putting this name
2 implies there's a continuation. You absolutely can tell this was overthought in the producer, studio, lab, office, whatever. They're like, okay, we can't say 2 because then...
I mean, it was a continuation.
But it makes it sound like it'll continue even after that. It makes it sound like we're going to see an Aquaman 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you say 2, you almost think 3. Very seldom do we not get a 3 unless 2 just sucked. So, thoughts?
It was trash.
I thought it was okay. I really did. I think this is what happened with me. And this is not supposed to, this is not how we're supposed to rate, but this is what I believe happened. I so badly did not want to see that movie. I was just like, this looks so dumb. I do not want to see it. Mm-hmm. So I think when I did go see it and I was already so like, let's just get this over with, I think it just wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Okay, fair enough.
And so I was like, it's not that it was good. I thought it was funny. And he was like, it wasn't supposed to be funny. I was like, well, I was laughing at a lot of stuff. So whether it was intended to be funny or not, I was laughing.
It was not a comedy. If you Google this, it will not say comedy.
They tried to change it into a comedy after all of the changes to this thing, whether it was through viewing, whether it was through the fact that they weren't going to continue, whatever. You can tell also, especially from the early viewings of the first version of this, or the first 2 versions, where this ended with that child dying. Mm-hmm. Quite frankly, would have been a stronger movie for it.
Yeah, but that would have just made it a whole different tone.
Yeah.
And it would
it have? Because you can tell this is heavily edited.
Well, I think so, because I still think you're going to have the comedy elements.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have something that heavy. And then to me, it turns into like Shazam. It's all over the place. You got heavy elements. You got comedy. You got your normal hero stuff. You got weird, dark stuff over here that's happening. So it's just too much.
What did you rate this?
We haven't done ratings in a long time. We've been slacking.
If you...
Off the top of the dome.
Top of your head.
I know we did. Just for everyone, this is going to have spoilers. Not that anyone cares. We already did the spoiler-free one. It should be out by the time this comes out. I would have given like a 5, like bad. And I think a 5 is being nice. I think I might have said a 5.5 on the spoiler free. So 5.5, and I think that's being nice.
I'd probably say 7 or something.
I know what you said.
I know, but
I know what you said. Come on now.
What'd she say?
Okay, because I think we gave it a letter.
She gave it like an 8.
No. Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought I said a B. and you were, I don't know. This is the thing.
No, that would be about an 8.
Sometimes I'll say like it's okay, and I'll give it a higher score. And in all reality, yes, I should have given it lower, because yes, it was okay. It wasn't as bad as I thought. There was some funny moments, but it was cheesy, and the ending was so horrible I can't even handle it.
Which one?
When they were all standing out there on the bridge, on the thing, and having the cheesiest conversation I ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was it was I'd probably say a C, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody go see it.
F.
Anyway,
this probably is gonna irritate you of why I'm doing this. What did I give Flash? I think I said I would give it an honorary 6, right?
6.5 or something.
Yeah. This is 0.1 better than whatever I gave the Flash. I just
so ridiculous. So you just want people to just. I think he's doing this on purpose. I think he don't. I do not like Flash. I think he doesn't want to do ANX Gamecast anymore, and he wants to say such crazy stuff that all the viewers comes in and be like, never have him on again.
If I was gonna re-rate the Flash today, it would be an even 5. Even 5.
So what do you, just real quick, remind me, what do you like hate about the Flash? It sounds like you hate, like you loathe it. What is it? It's short, because I know I don't want to get off track here, but quickly.
Again, my thing is going to be going against what the grading would be, is that I see the potential for a great movie that just missed it at every turn. The interpretation of the characters that they had it weren't correct. Batman sitting there all of a sudden going into his talk while he's got the lasso of truth around him. The comics never that's the one thing that would always surprise Diana, right? Wonder Woman, is that whenever she would put the lasso of truth on him, he would sit there and all he would say is, "I'm Batman." Something to that effect. But I don't think they handled the characters well. I just don't. Like I try to, and the CGI on this.
But I'm just gonna say
too.
it. This doesn't sound like an objective review, though.
It doesn't matter.
So my thing is, if you sit there and just say, I'm biased because of the TV show and because of what happened in the comic books and my affinity for what happened in the comic books.
I'll put it to you this way.
And they messed it up for me. Then okay, but it's like everything you just said right out. Like none of that stuff is objective.
Yeah, but that's what reviewing is. You don't have to follow a certain pattern. You don't have to follow a certain pattern. You can have a point of view where you want to say, this is what I'm going to utilize, which you do, and I do appreciate it, right?
Well, but what I'm saying is, for the people listening, I think it would be fair to them so they know what point of view you're coming from.
Right. I'm coming from the point of view of the fact that there's been stuff that's been done better, and because of that, I will tell you that does taint my my lens of viewing in this movie. But more importantly than that, I think there is a better movie, and I'm going to say this every time, there is a better movie in there that couldn't have depended on what came before, you wouldn't have cared about anything, whether it's comics or the show or whatever. But I'm telling you, like, if I knew nothing of this and you still recommended that movie to me, I think I still give it the same.
I just think you're so in the forest. Like there's no way you can say that and know that.
You could be. It could be, but I'm telling you right now,
because
I don't.
Because you're so.
But we're talking about the Flash. It's not even Aquaman. I'm just telling you.
You just said this was better than Flash. So that I
said it was about 0.1 or 0.2 better than Flash.
You said it was better than Flash.
But I was just curious. Well, I was just curious because we have several people, including yourself, that are very knowledgeable about comic books, and that comes up a lot about what somebody knows from the history of this character, and then how it gets made into a movie. And so you do have that ingrained in your brain because like, I don't know. I know no history of Flash other than what I saw Sheldon doing on Big Bang, running around. Like, I know nothing. Yeah. So you do have that. You can't get away from the fact that it's know colored. A lot of information.
My information can be colored, and I'm the first one. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? That could absolutely be the truth to that. But again, I'm not the only person out there. 2, as an average audience member, which I took with us, they came out with saying, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't hate it. They didn't love it. They were just like, it's okay. They did know of Keaton's Batman. So they did say it was really fun to see Michael Keaton back on there.
Yep.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I do. Right. But if you're asking me, to me, both of these movies are about the same quality of trash.
Oh no, no.
That I've seen. So, and I know that, but it's okay not to have that
like
agreement on this one.
Like, I mean, I just feel like there are parts of the Flash that you did enjoy, and those things did not happen in Aquaman. We haven't talked about this, but I'm just saying Keaton's Batman, the Supergirl, the different Supergirl.
I will tell you right now, Supergirl, I absolutely
nothing
enjoyed.
like that happened in this movie.
Not even close.
So how is this movie better?
Don't care. I just hate hate the Flash movie that much.
Tell us how
I'm
you
telling you,
feel.
man. I'm telling you.
I hate that fool.
Hate that movie, man. Like, it's just
He's running around,
like
Trying to run off
running
fast.
around in
you
circles.
can tell me the white guy's the fastest. You know, how racist is that?
Yeah, that's
you know?
racist as hell. Yeah, that movie's trash. Give it a 1.
Okay,
It's a
but-
negative
okay.
6.
But back to
So I mean, but hey, I just made a good point. Just saying.
good job.
Yes.
Yes, you validated my hatred for Flash. I agree.
Yes. So anyway, I mean, this movie.
It's not good. It's
I mean, I feel like, just generally speaking, I feel like it had a very similar storyline to the first one.
I will say this: he had fun. You could tell in Momoa's acting, he was having fun.
I couldn't tell anything from his acting besides the fact that he can't act.
He was having fun.
It was. I mean.
Yeah.
This was abnormally bad acting from him. Like. I mean, jeez. I mean, I think.
I don't
he
know.
did-
I saw the last. Actually, no. I stand corrected. He was the best thing in the last Fast and the Furious movie. In fact, just like you and Margot Robbie, I only watched that for him because he was the only one that was enjoying himself too on there.
Oh,
I mean, he probably did better in Baywatch. I mean, seriously. Like this was.
Did he do Baywatch? I have no idea.
Yeah.
In the movie, or is it like movie, TV show?
No, TV show.
Oh,
He's
okay.
old.
Oh no.
If you didn't know, he's not.
Now
he's-
you know.
He's not a young man.
Now you know.
He's not a young lad.
a young lad.
It had a plot. I liked. No, let me rephrase this. I just said it had a plot. That's not what I meant. It had an essence of a plot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily think you needed to have the background story of an evil underwater brother. And I'm not even talking about his brother on the movie, but the Atlantean brother or whatever. For him to have the need and want to kill Flash, the main villain, Black Manta, like he didn't,
Flash.
or Flash. Should I say Aquaman? See, this is how
You
much
got
I hate this
Flash on
movie.
the brain.
But Black Manta, just as a villain himself, like just do that, just focus on that, and have him vote. Happen with his personal life, like have that as a part
Well,
of the movie.
I just feel like he was too involved. Like I would have been fine. So I grew up on Pokemon, right? And you had Team Rocket, and they were the everyday villain, right? Bad guy.
Yeah, fair enough.
But generally speaking, there would be times where
What's wrong?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see what you're doing over there.
Oh, don't worry about what I'm doing.
There would be times
Just
where
in the
like
moment.
the real villain would come in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like they were just the everyday, like this is who I fight off every day. But then the real villain would come in every, season and he would have to beat him or whatever. So I just feel like it was too much about him again, which like I said, the storylines were very similar to the first one.
Oh,
Like parallel, almost everything was parallel to the first one. It's just like I just saw this. I just saw this back and forth between the brothers and who's going to have the throne and who does better at the throne and who's going to take it. And then, I'm going to get you back because daddy, right? It's like, we just did this.
Mom, not dad.
Dad, Black Manta, daddy, I'm going to get you.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
I'm going to get
Daddy.
you. Daddy, right?
Yeah.
And we just did this. Like, we just did this. And I'm just like, come on.
I am glad he didn't take his hand at the end when spoiler. When he's falling, I
Spoiler alert.
really half expected him to like reach back up to Arthur to
No,
save him, and I was like, "You better not."
But that whole thing was stupid to me because Aquaman just his character in the movies, just generally speaking, like this kind of drunk biker dude. It just doesn't seem like that's something you would do in any scenario. Like you just tried to kill my kid. I'm not trying to save you.
Oh yeah.
I think I would.
I'm not trying to save you.
I would have taken that trident instead of. I would have been like starting to like, hey, let go of that rock, man. Let me make sure this is final.
Yeah.
Because you're right. You just tried to kidnap my child. No, not
You did.
You did.
Yeah.
And then it was like, do I kill this kid? You know,
like what are we talking about here? Like, I mean, I just feel like there's other characters that would have definitely lent a hand, right? But his character, how that all went down, no, that was just stupid. What was the name of the dark
Pitchfork? I have no clue.
That's the only thing I liked about the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The what it did, those powers, the whatever, like that. Those scenes, generally speaking, those scenes were dope.
I was expecting 0 from this movie. I think I got pretty close to it, but the kiddo enjoyed it. My son enjoyed it.
Oh, well, that's good.
So
well, it's good that he enjoyed it. But
yeah, because it's made for that age group.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Like, most of these movies are made for that age group.
People, grown men eating roach sandwiches, roach burgers, and stuff like that. Yeah, that sounds like something aimed towards kids. Like something
They probably
that they
would
would
think
think was
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, and he did. He was laughing about it.
Yeah, that's not funny to me.
It had its moments where I did chuckle, and I hope there were. I'm going back through my head trying to think. First off, I'm having a hard time even remembering this movie.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm trying to think, like, there were some intentional funny parts that did land.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was stuff that you could tell wasn't, you're laughing at it, but it wasn't intentional. It was, because of whatever. But yeah, you know what? It DC going out on this movie, it fits. It just fits. It's representative of how they kind of handled it. It's representative of too many hands in the pot, right? They just won't let directors be directors.
I felt a certain way about the last line of the movie.
What was that?
I don't even remember what the last line was.
Or it might have been during the end credits. I don't remember. But he went on TV. He finally told everybody about.
Oh yeah.
Blah blah blah. And the last thing he said was,
I'm Aquaman.
I'm Aquaman. And at that particular time, I think there was still uncertainty on if he was going to come back or not and be Aquaman. Yeah. I think everyone just assumed no, and thought no. But I feel like that was just a cheap attempt to put it in everyone's brain like I'm Aquaman. Right?
I went to the fact
I feel like that's what happened there.
I thought more or less it took a shot at Marvel.
You can't take shots at Marvel.
That's what I feel though. I feel like they took a shot at Marvel because of Iron Man being Iron Man, and that's how that ended. And I think they just were trying to take a fun shot at it.
But you can't though.
Regardless of whether that's the case or not, that's how I felt they did it.
They might have used that. That might have been the whatever. But I just feel like it was just a cheap attempt to.
Could be. The only
like for example, he never had to say it, but Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. Yeah, he never had to say it, but everybody in everybody's head, Hugh Jackman is Wolverine, and then there's right. I feel like that's what that was about.
I don't know. The
inspiration may have came from somewhere else, but
what is it they said? The only 3 actors that are for sure to come back is
Margot.
No,
she's not.
No,
I thought
he's already said that.
I thought she was.
Nope, they've said Blue Beetle will come back. They've said, I can't remember this kid's name. What is it? Xylophone. That's what I'm calling him. So he's coming back as Blue Beetle. John Cena will come back as Peacemaker.
Oh, Lord.
And then Amanda Waller.
Who's Amanda Waller?
My gosh, I just lost her name. Actress for Amanda Waller. She's coming back too. Those are the only 3 actors that James Gunn has said, this is who's coming with us.
Mm.
So
John Cena, really?
Well, if it's kids watching it, I guess.
Well, but then that just tells me you're still going down this road of dollars and not quality.
Yeah, because
But even Disney admitted to that, right? Like Disney admitted, the CEO and Kevin Feige both have said our biggest mistake and I know they didn't want to say this version of it. What they should have said is our biggest mistake is we tried to take a page out of DC and go this route with this last phase. But what they said is we purposely went quantity over quality. And we know that, we recognize that we are not going to be doing that. That is what they said. Go look it up. I'll look it up the exact.
No, because I specifically said, because you want to keep this to an hour, that we were not going on Marvel rants.
My
and here
point
you
was,
go. We're not talking about Marvel.
I wasn't going on a rant. What I was saying is they know too that don't do this. don't do that cash grab. Stop it.
Okay, one thing about Marvel, if we just want to be honest about it, the problem, if you want to say problem, because you like to say
I'm
that.
Did I say problem, or did I say that Did I say this is what they said?
Well, but your normal rhetoric is the problem with Marvel is this and that. No, the problem with Marvel is that fans are stupid. I'm talking to you all. Y'all are stupid. There was a reset. You have to introduce new characters. There's a build up that has to happen, right? You can't just keep continuing from Endgame and keep going. So generally speaking, you're not going to get Endgame after Endgame after Endgame. Y'all are stupid. I'm just putting it out there. They have to reset. They have to introduce new characters, character development. You have to tell their backstories, who they are and where they came from. That's going to be a slower paced thing than the end of phase 4 or whatever the hell phase it was with Endgame. So yeah, stop being stupid. Because I've had these conversations with people and they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. How did you not think about it like that? That's literally what's happening. They're introducing new characters to you. Like, and you thought Shang-Chi was supposed to be Endgame? Get out of here. Ridiculous. Anyway, Aquaman.
He went on the Marvel rant. How about that?
Well, not for 45 minutes like some people do.
Neither did I.
Oh, I can pull it up.
I no, I'm talking about on the show today.
Well, I did 1 minute, so
today.
Sue me.
Okay, well, either way, it sounds like Aquaman 2, I'll call it, was...
What did I text you on? I said, I haven't seen Fish Stick yet, so I'll get back to you.
I don't remember.
When you first were like, hey, have you seen this? Actually, the first time you were like, hey, let's go.
I said, did you see the tattoo swimming dude or something? I said, so
fish or something.
Fish. Okay. So what do we normally, because we're rusty here. So would you recommend this to the average viewer?
No.
Would you recommend this to a comic book fan?
As a must watch, no, but as a, hey, if you want to check it out, sure. It would be a hard, this would be my comment. Yeah, if you want to watch it, go ahead. That would be my recommendation.
Would you recommend this to a DC fan? Just because this is the last one. This is the last.
Maybe because it's the last one, and if it's someone who's a completionist,
okay,
sure.
Average fan?
No.
Comic book fan?
No.
DC fan?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go no across the board. Okay. I wouldn't recommend this to the average fan or a comic book fan because I feel like the comic book fan would not enjoy this, right? Similar to the reasons that you were talking about with Flash, okay? And then even DC fans, like I don't want to put you through this. This is not the way to go. You want to go out like Dark Knight Rises, right? You don't want to go out like this.
No, I'm just laughing because
you don't want to go out. This is more on the lines of Dark Phoenix. You're going out like Dark Phoenix.
No, I'd actually recommend Dark Phoenix before I'd recommend this.
Right, yeah. But it's a low point. It's not a great movie, and you're not going out on top. Like if it would have ended with Days of Future Past, it was like, oh, y'all went out on top. You know, it wouldn't make sense because you're introducing all these new characters. But I'm just saying that quality of movie, if you go out on top like that, Dark Knight Trilogy went out
on top. Sure.
So yeah, so I wouldn't want to put the DC fans through this. Y'all have been through enough.
My thing would be
just skip it.
My thing would be is like only if you want it to see it to complete this.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
That's it. That's
like if you saw the first one, go just see it.
It's not something I'm buying.
Right, no.
You know.
Marcus Genesis almost walked out.
What?
He's saying
I'm about to have a Joe Budden moment.
Renting
here.
The movie.
That's not what you said earlier.
What did I say earlier?
Brokeback, Jake.
You said I bought it.
You said I bought it.
Well, whatever.
And then I said what? And then I said I'm gonna save it for the pod.
Did I rent or did I buy this damn thing?
Come on, Jake.
I honestly cannot remember if I rented it or bought it.
He's medicated out.
Yeah, I hope you rented it.
And even then, I can tell you right now, too much.
It's not worth. Okay, that's the best way I can put this.
Too much money.
This is not worth the price of admission.
No,
this is not worth the price of admission.
If you can wait to see this on,
HBO Max or whatever,
whatever it's Max or Netflix
it's not
or whatever,
even worth the monthly subscription to Max.
If you already paid for it,
if it's already in your back pocket and it's coming out and you want to see it because you've got to complete it,
it's not worth the time it takes to watch it.
Again, we're talking about a fan of the DCEU.
Oh, they.
I'm going to say the same thing. Want to watch it? Sure. But I'm not going to go out of my way. I'm not going to sit there and like, okay, by the way, make sure you watch this. Had someone who hadn't seen it. They asked me about it. Hey, should I watch it? And this was Jason. I was like,
no.
Why? And I did tell him that. I was like, if you want.
I mean,
I was
but
like,
I
wouldn't do it.
That's not. But let's be honest. That's not saying anything.
No, it's not.
Should I watch it? Yes or no? Not if you want.
Yeah.
It's just like
my answer would be, that would be my answer.
Just say no.
It would
Just
be
say no.
Are you that much of a WB stan where you just can't say no? Just say no. Just say no.
Yeah, but I'm the same. I guess I'm the same way. Like if you go
want
see
to,
these movies, like you go see all of them, I wouldn't be like, absolutely not. Now I can see how you would.
Well, my thing is those people. I don't know why Jason asked you that, but because I'm assuming he's seen all the DC movies. I don't know, but my thing is, generally speaking, those people don't ask. If I've seen every single DCEU movie that's been out, like I'm not going to go ask someone opinion if I should watch the last one. Like I'm going to watch the last one. I think
his question was, is there a reason to see it in the theater? And I told him absolutely not. That's what his question was. And he goes, should I catch it? And that's when I said, I said, I can tell you the high points of it, which is like 2 or 3. I said, that's it.
Well, because the graphics, and I said this about the first one, to me, the graphics are kind of funny looking. Like they're not like
they could not nail Amber Heard.
I mean, it was just the underwater stuff is what I'm saying. And everybody was like, no, the underwater stuff was dope. And I'm like, it's funny looking at me. I don't know what y'all are looking at.
This was worse than the second. This was worse than the first one.
It was a little worse than the first one. But the first one was still kind of funny looking at me too.
Effing seahorse.
Yeah, so as far as should I watch this in the theater?
Yeah, that's
which is a different question.
Hard no.
No. Now, if they would have just aced the graphics and everything in the water, then maybe, right? But
I don't even think then. If you're keeping the same storyline, like I don't think so.
You don't go. Generally speaking, people don't go to the movie theater for the storyline. Like you want to get the sounds, the action, you want to get the visuals. If you're gonna like that's the point of it. It's not storyline.
I'm just gonna say I'm different.
Well,
I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
We all know that.
I'm different. So,
Jake.
Yeah, you're not funny.
but you're laughing.
I'm laughing because it's you. I'm not laughing at the comment, my friend.
I am. It's me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, y'all ready to wrap this up?
Are we? Believe it or not, this is still one of our shorter ones, right?
Yeah. That was the goal.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can keep going.
No, I got to get up at some
It's trash.
point.
It's garbage.
Garbage.
Garbage. No, see, that sounds like fancy trash. That sounds like trash you want to see.
Oh yeah, it's not fancy.
Well, this is kind of fancy trash. I mean, no. From the fact of how much it costs to make, this is fancy trash. This is fancy trash. This is like when you don't want to throw away the box that the fancy purse came in.
Oh yeah.
They should have just not released this, but it was too much of a fancy box.
They should have released this when this. And still released it and made more money than anything they had put out in the past 4 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, still earned more than those.
I have no idea. I never read or see anything on things.
Ended surprisingly the DCEU on a high note monetarily. Not $1 billion that they did, but close to $500,000.
$500 million?
$500 million. What did I say? $500,000?
Yeah.
Either way.
It's all good.
Either way, man.
All right.
I'm not feeling language today.
All right. Well, good thing the show's almost over.
There you go.
All right.
That's it for today's, guys.
What?
That's it for this week's update. If you enjoyed the show, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we release new episodes.
She said, I'm out.
See you next week.
DCEU
I'm out.
is out.